I am Dr. Alpheus Mauchana. I'm one of the general chemistry instructors here at Santa Fe College. As an instructor of chemistry, I can tell you, being in the chemistry lab is fun anywhere in the world. So we hope you will enjoy your time in the chemistry lab. Now this video is made for all the students of chemistry at this college. Intro to Chemistry, College Chemistry 1, College Chemistry 2, and Organic Chemistry 1 and Organic Chemistry 2. When you come into the lab, we expect that you will walk into the classroom area where there's chairs for pre-lab safety discussion of your experiment. When you come into the lab, just to be sure you have your safety glasses. I have my safety glasses. Even if you don't put them on right away, you should have them so that when we start doing the lab, you have them. I'm going to put mine on. So safety glasses are required. You should have your personal pair. And we recommend the laboratory coat like I'm wearing here. It's strongly recommended. And the shoes, full shoes that cover your whole foot. Without these shoes that cover your whole foot and the safety glasses, we will not allow you to conduct experiments in the lab. The next thing you should know is that we do not allow eating or drinking in the lab. So finish your meals before you come into the lab. If you are ill, please let your instructor know, because we do not think you will work safely feeling sick. And if during the lab you get injured, we would like you to report that injury. We do have a first aid kit here in the laboratory that we can use for minor cuts and such. The building layout, we are in building J. The building layout is shown on a picture. It shows that the labs, when you look at that picture, you will notice that the first lab on your left, looking at the picture, is the Intro to Chemistry lab. Classroom area and the working area where there are benches. And then the next lab is College Chemistry 1 and then College Chemistry 2, designed the same way. And then Organic Chemistry lab, which is designed slightly differently, but still has a classroom, working benches, and they have fume hoods in which you can do the work. My colleague, Dr. Tanya Cordova Santiago, will be talking more about the Organic Chemistry lab. Now, in this lab, what is marked, the entrances that are marked green on that picture are your emergency exits. In addition to the emergency exit, we have the floor plan which has the evacuation route. If the fire alarm goes off, we will all hear it. You will not miss it. If it goes off and the sound is blurring, we need to follow those arrows and get out of the building and to the evacuation site. All right, that's the evacuation plan. If you are in the Intro to Chemistry lab, the nearest site is out to the south, out the way you came in at the door, out this way towards J building, and then down the breezeway between the two buildings, all the way down to the evacuation area south of this building, across the road into the other parking lot. If you are in Chem 1 lab and Organic lab, the nearest evacuation area would be to the west of this building. Follow the arrows and get to the evacuation area. Now, if the exit is blocked you meant to go out the way you came, but maybe the fire or whatever is causing the emergency is on that direction, you may go out the other way, follow the other routes, the other evacuation route to the back through the emergency door, and you will catch up with the other people who were nearest the other entrance and go to the evacuation area. Now in the lab, we have the classroom meeting area. You always sit there, wait for the instructions about your lab from your instructor. And the lab working area, you will be assigned an area, looks like where I'm standing right now with the fume extraction vent. This here has a suction to suck away any fumes that may come from your experiment. Try to set them up next to this fume so they can be drawn away. And you have your mains to plug your electricity equipment if you're using equipment that uses power. And this here is your work area. In addition to all this work area, there is an electricity cut-off switch, which I will show later. It's simply a red knob that you push and it will cut power to this power supply, power outlet, that if the emergency had to do with your electrical equipment, then the power will be cut and then we'll stop that emergency in that way. Now, your instructor and first responders are trained to use the fire extinguisher, which is kept in a box like this throughout the building. Each lab has one. Inside, there's a fire extinguisher. You as a student are not expected to use the fire extinguisher. Your instructors are, and the first responders are. But if you have to and you are there, if you must, then what you do is you pull this pin right here which holds the seal. Pull it, the seal will break. And if you watch, my fingers are holding the lever which is blocked by this pin. Once pulled, I can squeeze this lever. What you want is to grab the nozzle, squeeze the trigger to let out the fire, to discharge the fire extinguisher while sweeping side to side, sweeping the nozzle side to side at the base of the fire. That's how you use a fire extinguisher to kill a fire. What we have here is the eye wash station, which has a shower head. Now, the eye wash station has outlets of the water. Water sprinkles out of these outlets. You may, if you are able to, you may flip them open, but the water might do that as well. Flip them open, look into the water outlets, hold the eyes that are affected open, and hold them open and push this lever. If I push this lever hard, the water will come out of these outlets and will come straight into my eye. Keep your face here for a few seconds, maybe 10, 15 seconds. While the water is running, the water will wash the chemicals out of your eye. While it's running, hold your eyes open so it can wash. It may feel uncomfortable for a period, but that's what is necessary to remove the chemicals from your eyes. If you had a big spill on yourself, something that may attack your skin, you want to come sit right underneath the shower head, like you're taking a shower head home, pull this lever. If you pull this lever right here, you pull it down, the water will come down on you like that. Do not worry about shedding clothes, just run it down. Let the drain run on you, and wait in here for a good 5 minutes and be drenched. And that's how you get decontaminated from a spill. Now we have two things shown here. One is the switch that will turn on the fume extraction vents. Your instructor may already have pressed the lab mode. Right now, this says lecture mode. If you press and hold the top button, it will increase the extraction on those vents, the rate of extraction. It will go blue here, and the rate of suction will increase. That's one thing to check if you needed to be sure. If there's fault with your electric equipment, what you want to do is press this switch here. This is the emergency cut-off switch. Press this switch, and then the power will not be feed into your equipment, and that way you will minimize whatever damage the electrical fire was causing, because the power will be cut off. That is pretty much what you need to know. The next important thing is, if emergency happens, we need to call 911. You may well be the person that should make that call. Call 911. You may call from your cell phone. You may reach for the phone that we have in the building here. In addition, please call campus police. I'm going to give the number right now of our campus police. 352-395-5555. That's 4 5s following 395. You call that number, you will tell them the location. We're in Building J in Northwest Campus, and they will come and give you assistance. In summary, remember these safety rules. 1, tell your instructor if you had any accident or injury during the lab. Also, if you are sick coming into the lab. 2, wear chemical splash goggles and use the iWatch station if needed. 3, wear shoes that completely cover your feet. 5, use the chemical waste container and clean your work area. 6, avoid fire hazards by reporting faulty electrical equipment or Bunsen burners. 7, avoid ingestion hazards by not eating or drinking in the lab. 8, avoid inhalation hazards by using fume extraction vents. Pour out a smaller amount into a beaker for pipetting, etc., from corked or capped liquid containers, and keep containers closed to avoid spills. Report large spills to the instructor. Please remember that your course instructor may ask you to leave the lab if you do not comply with the safety requirements. We trust that you will enjoy the lab and that you will work safely.